Okay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm so excited and delighted to actually see you one-on-one. I know, like, we've spoken a couple of times, and it's pretty honoring to, accept me, my little self, to come on this program. So thank you everybody for joining. My name is Orolu Afadiro, and this is my guest. I'm not going to say too much so that I will allow her, to say it the way she can say it best, like they say in Yoruba, if I said that correctly. On this episode 2 today, I have Princess Allwell Ademola. She is a renowned professional artist in terms of acting, in terms of music and directing. She has won a number of awards to her credit. And like I say on my program, this is just a new path that I trying to carve out based on my interest and longing to see better content put out there through movies, maybe Yoruba movies especially, but I would say in Nollywood. So welcome with me, Allwell Ademola, this evening, and I'll allow her to tell us a bit about herself and our journey so far.
Well, my name is Allwell Ademola, Allwell Ademola, and we all know that I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker, movie director, a singer, a music artist, and a scriptwriter. Abeokuta, precisely.
Okay.
I live in Lagos.
Okay. About casting. For those that know, they know that to some extent I'm big on delivery when it comes to movie, and I think it has to do much on the cast. So my questions will be two ways. Part A will be, what do you think it should be when it comes to casting? Should there be a casting director for movies like usually, or the producer can always say, this is the person I want on my set?
Okay. Well, there are two ways to it. Like we all know, I'm a movie producer and I'm also a director. And I'm a script writer. So I'm gonna answer this question professionally and my own way. Now, professionally, we are supposed to have casting directors.
Okay.
Professionally. Because you give the script out to the as a producer, you already have your script, you have your story, you tell it to a scriptwriter, or if you are the scriptwriter yourself, now you give it out to the production manager, to the director, to the casting director, to the artistic director, to the technical director, to everyone involved. So everybody will now do their own jobs. That's where the casting director comes in. After reading the script, the casting director will be like, okay, this and these are the people that who I think can play this role, can play this character, because that is his job. Now, professionally, that's how it should be. Now, my own way, the second answer I'm giving is, because I am a script writer and a director, most times I double as my casting director myself. Why? Because when I have the story, I already have a picture. While writing the script, I already have a picture of who I think would play out the character well. Because it is my story, because I'm also the director, I can double as the casting director. That is because it is in my area of jurisdiction. That does not apply to producers that are not directors or scriptwriters.
Okay.
I think that answers the question.
So it answers the part A. So overall, in the way it should be, there should be a casting director. But you do it because you have the power and the technical know-how.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I grab that. So what do you now have to say in regards to, I'm not calling names now, but what do you have to say in regards to producers that use the same set of people over and over for their movies, not because that individual person or those people can deliver that role or leave that role, but because they have a relationship. So let's say relationship over skill, maybe.
Okay, well, I would say that how do I put it now? This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria, and in our sect of Nigeria, the Yoruba sect, we are very sentimental people. We believe in Omowani. There's nothing we can do about it. That is how we are wired.
My next question is asking about on mixing old and new generation of actors in movie, casting them together in movie making. What is your opinion? Do you think it helps the upcoming generation, to gain more experience, or what's your take on that?
Well, I've always been a fan of new generation. Yeah, people call me new generation. I love to explore, yeah. And I believe that if I was not tried, I won't be where I am today. If Faithia Balogun, Odimbo, Jai Kuti was not tried, they wouldn't be where they are today. If everybody was looking down on them like, what can you give? You can't deliver. They won't be here today. So it is because they were tried, they were given an audience, they were allowed to show what they have. That is why they are where they are today. So I believe so much in the young generation. And the same way, I'm a big fan of the whole generation, because if they had not given us a platform, we wouldn't be here. It is because they gave a platform. It is because they paved the way. I call them pace setters. That is why we are here. So it is always sweet in a movie when we have those people, when we have to bring them back to refresh our memories on what they used to do, on how they used to do it. You see, these people there are some of them that when I see them, I have goosebumps. My last production, my second to last production I did with Uncle Ogabelu. I call him Uncle B. Adebayo Salami. He played my husband. Oh my God, you have no idea how I was all through that production. Ogabelu is one fantastic actor that I've always respected. And then you cannot imagine, it's someone that even as a child, I used to see him on my screen. And then this same person played my husband in the movie. Oh my God, you have no idea what I felt, So in the same way I will feel when I meet a Baba one day on set, So it is always sweet when you mix this old generations, and that way we'll learn more from them. We have experiences of some of the experiences they had that we were not opportune to do with them then. We tap some of those experiences from them when we do productions with them. And then that is concerning us as thespians. Now, concerning our audience, the audience will always want to have a feel of the old and new generation. There are people that people will see today and they will be like, like me. I used to see Iyaribu. I used to see Iyaribu in Funke Akindele. Do you understand? So I know that there are some audience that will like, Funke Akindele Badak, but she will be like Iyaribu. Do you understand? So I am the type that see that in the new generation. I see some old generation in the new ones, like, this person is going to be like this person by the time she grows old. So by the time we have them together on screen, and an audience is seeing a movie, and some of them might be reasoning the way I reason, and then we'll make a lot of people happy. Some prayers will be answered.
So the first is what has changed, and the second is what needs to change.
Oh, well, a lot of things have changed. Yes, a lot. I would say that, okay, I was privileged to be one of those that got into the entertainment industry early enough. Like, I've been in the industry since 1995, from the days of television when I used to be in Animal Games until Moonlight. And then the picture quality we have now is not the same we had then. Do you understand? Then we have just few hands as crew members. We how do I explain it now? Picture quality. Let me just put that. I delayed in producing my first movie till 2009 because I'm crazy with pictures. You know, I would have shot the movies in the 90s or in the, yeah, I did 196, but that was just practical. But professionally, I would have shot my movies early enough, like when everybody was shooting it. But my problem was because I knew that I've seen foreign movies where their picture quality was tight, and I saw the cameras that were used, high-tech cameras, and I was waiting till when these cameras would get here. And I shot my movie with 5D Mark III Canon when some of my colleagues were still using Panasonic P2. When some of my colleagues were still using HTV. But because I am picture crazy, I had to wait till we are still using the 5D till now. So you can imagine I shot the movie like some 11 years ago with the same camera we are still using now. So you can imagine how beautiful the picture. If I still see the movie now, I saw the movie 2 years ago on African Magic, and I was like, wow, movie that was shot 9 years ago, as at 2 years ago, and it's still this beautiful. I still have this beautiful picture. It is because we have improved in the area of picture quality. We have improved in the area of our scripting. You know, years back we shoot movies for 3 hours, and we, just like Z World, we would delay in some unnecessary movements just so that the movie will be up to 3 hours. We spoon feed the audience. Audience watch movies and they get tired because of unnecessary emphasis. You know, but right now, some people, I know of folks that will tell you that I don't watch Yoruba movies, I don't watch Nigerian movies, I watch American movies because, you know, it's just ta 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 ta, it's moving and all that. We don't do chair and table anymore. To be draggy and all. But right now, because it's a movie, it is moving pictures. If you see our movies now, you see that we are moving. We are moving. We are really, really improving. Like I make bold to say that. I'm saying that with all pride that we are moving. Now, things that need to change is some of our movies are substandard. Why? Because of funds.
Because of funds?
Because of funds, yeah.
Okay.
I'll use myself as an example. When I shot that first movie I told you about, I wanted to, like I told you, that I waited so that I can give the best. I did the right casting. I casted the right faces that I need to cast. I wasn't mindful of how much I was spending. I lodged people in 2 hotels. I lodged people at Magodo, and there are scenes that needed to be shot at Surulere. We traveled all the way from Magodo to Surulere, all the way from Magodo to Allen to shoot some scenes. We went all the way to Opik. We went all the way to Arepo to shoot, and we lodged in Magodo. So we spent close to 11 days shooting that movie because I wanted to give my best. I wanted to do it how it should be done. But at the end of the day, I ran at loss. Why? Because the money I spent was too much, and marketers wouldn't want to pay that much for a Yoruba movie. Now, where I'm going is, it is because I'm a strong-willed person. I'm a go-getter. I believe in what I want to do. I want to do it. I hate no for an answer. On a good day, I know producers that would give up, that will just lose it. Like, I don't lose money. I'm not doing again. I know of people that has happened to. They produce a movie and that's the end of it because they don't want. They were disappointed that they ran at loss at their first attempt. But I waited for 2 years. I went back to my drawing board. I strategized, and that's why I'm still here. But I know of people that will be discouraged and will not want to do this anymore. So what needs to be changed is for us to stop having substandard movies. Not everyone is as strong-willed as Allwell. Not everyone is as strong-willed as we were, or as Saida, or as what they call it. So if we have funds, if the government can, we've been saying this times without number, and I'm going to say it again. If the government can step into this, if they understand that this is an industry that needs help, this is an industry that is helping the government, that is helping Nigeria, that to some extent we are given, how do I explain it now? We are a touch to the world. We are good representatives to the world. Now, entertainment as a whole, music, movies, modeling, and all that, Nigeria has been doing well. So if the government will understand and see that, okay, this is an industry that has been an highlight, that has been helping the country, that has been giving good recommendations about Nigeria, then maybe they should help. That way, we'll have a great change. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. From the answer you gave me, there's actually something I picked and that I've seen over and over on my part and on some people's posts. And it's about the contents in movies of today. For some reasons, I specifically stepped back in review making. I don't know if you've noticed, but I specifically stepped back. And it's because 2 out of 10 movies will give you an okay moment, not even a wow moment, And all this has to do with the content. Out of the 10 that I'm mentioning, you might see 2 or 3 that have the same storyline. Out of it, you will see one that even the soundtrack from the beginning has told you how the story will go, and you're already discouraged. I'm speaking for myself, and I know that some of the people out here, they will actually reason with me as well. What do you have to say about the contents that are being put out nowadays? Is it really about the money that most of these producers are actually just, recycling and recycling and recycling stories? Or what exactly do you think the problem is?
Well, I would say that most of our producers are lazy. And they don't want to think out of the box, I've noticed something that if a colleague, I'm not going to mention names, if a colleague produces a comedy and it makes way, and it's accepted by the world, and everybody likes it. Like, this is a beautiful one, this is a good one, I've seen it because it's comedy and everybody likes it. You just see another colleague, because that was accepted, will not want to think there's nothing wrong with you doing a comedy. Maybe because you feel that at this time, at this period, people want to laugh. This is what they want. That's why it was accepted. Then you should also, if you also want to do comedy, you should also think out of the box and just create something that will make people laugh.
So from what you just said now, it takes me to the next question. So one thing I've seen is cast reading their scripts or getting their scripts a week of the week of the movie sets, the week of production. What do you think can be done differently to enhance delivery of casts?
Well, it's only professional for casts to get their scripts before shoot, weeks before shoot. That is very professional. But there are times that we have. It is not an excuse though, but there are times that we have some ogologo casts. Some casts that you give them the script now, and they will swallow it, and you wonder how they do it. That's why I said it's not an excuse. So because of that, some producers will be like, I want to quickly rush this job. Maybe some producers have limited time. Maybe some producers just got the money that wasn't planned for. And all of a sudden the money came, and the producer is like, if I don't shoot this now, some people, they eat from hand to mouth. If I don't shoot this now, I might lose this money. And they quickly want to plan and shoot the production. And in such cases, within 2 weeks, you are planning to shoot. And everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same, So you are planning to cast A, and you're planning to cast B and C. Maybe A is the kind of person, is one of those people that I said they are going to go and they get their lines immediately. And B is a slow taker. B is the kind that wants a script to be delivered to him or her in 2 months before shoot, so he can digest the script, he can be emotionally prepared for the script, he can, get ready. And C is in between. Is the kind of person that he can digest easily, or it depends on the person's mood. That way, By the time you now get all those 3 people on set, A is ever ready, like standing by, and B is still struggling to get the scripts. So where I'm going is, because everybody is not the same, because everybody cannot get their lines immediately or cannot be emotionally prepared immediately, and because professionally it's meant to be delivered weeks before shoot. So I always advise that we go for the letter. Give the scripts to the cast involved weeks before shoot.
Ahead of time.
Yes.
So my next question would be a personal question now. Have you ever rejected a script?
Yes.
Why?
I have not only rejected a script, I've rejected scripts. Before I do any job, I want to see the script. And then when I see the script and the script is not up to, the script is not good enough. I'm sorry.
Good.
But the script is not because the story is bad, but if the script if it is not well screenplayed, or if the script is not well dialogued, and I'm going to be on set, I'll be the one to say these lines. So most of our audience don't understand that it is the job of the scriptwriter. They will be like, she doesn't know how to act, or she cannot deliver her lines. And because I don't want my name to be soiled, I'll reject such scripts. Now, I don't just reject. I will call the producer and explain things to the producer. Like, I just read your script too. These are the things that I've noticed. Can we make corrections? Is there something we can do about it? Some producers are very, very open to corrections, and we'll sit down and work around it. I was supposed to direct a movie, and I read the script. I was not comfortable about it. I called the producer and the scriptwriter, and we rearranged it, we reworked it. So because nobody's an island of knowledge. If that is done, why not? I will do it. But if some producers can be stubborn, or some scriptwriters can be like, who are you to tell me what to do? Then I will have to reject it.
Okay. So my next question is about influencing upcoming and would-be actors and actresses. Just like the theme of this series is challenging the status quo. As someone that upcoming artists are looking up to, and those that are not yet in the industry as well are looking up to, how do you intend to influence those people and even change the mindset of the existing, professionals?
How do I influence them? Well, basically, I think we have seminars. We hold seminars. I once in a while do live videos like this, and then while I do my live video, was it 2 days ago, 3 days ago that I was online, and quite a number of young people came online and be like, Mama, I want to join the industry. Mama, I want to this. Mama, I want that. And even a lot of times I receive messages on my direct messages, and I read lots of people that want to come into the industry, and I make them understand, even in my mails, I make them understand that first of all, you have to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, believe in God. And I also make them understand that you need proper training. You don't just jump coming from the windows. You need proper training. There was a time Tinamba granted an interview, and she said that she was outside her house and she saw a plantain seller, and she asked that she wanted to buy plantain, and the plantain seller said, it may not have much a film, and she said she felt insulted. I want to inject anybody. I wouldn't just put on a lawyer gown and go to the court and start defending people. I have to train for it. I have to go to school. So for you to become an established, a professional, a good actor, a sought after actor, you need to get trained. You need to go to school or train for it.